Hey world, it's being able to come back to another video. In fact, I would like to call this an investor update from a cannabis sector standpoint. Like I told you in my earlier videos, family, I do invest in cannabis. If you don't know what cannabis is a plant grown in America, North America, South America, Mexico. It's grown in Canada, and this plant is actually two types of plants under the same name. You know, there are two types of cannabis plants, that is, and you have what they call hemp, and then you have what they call marijuana. You know, and one of these particular plants produces chemicals, right, that cause you to get high, which, you know, of course, on a street name is weed or reefer or, marijuana, right? But actually, marijuana is a plant, and this plant, like I say, it has a chemical called THC in it, and THC is that chemical that gives you that high effect. If you ever to smoke marijuana, if you ever to ingest it or inhale it, you'll get a high effect. And with that chemical THC being in your blood, that is basically what prohibits you from getting a job if you ever to be drug tested, because marijuana and cannabis and hemp itself were all on the Schedule 1 label. It's all considered a Schedule 1 drug, which is on the same list as heroin, cocaine, and other psychedelic drugs. Synthetic drugs, that is. Marijuana or cannabis is on that list. Now, as of November 2018, Canada actually legalized marijuana, as well as, recreationally and medicinally. Because what people don't know about medical marijuana is that it's been used for decades as an alternative to pharmaceutical medications. And so it was allowed, in some states, under the supervision of a doctor or whatnot. You got to get a prescription from your doctor and in actuality use smoke the cannabis plant known as marijuana. And so it's actually, even though it has the THC chemical in it that gives you that high effect, it also has an other effect where it increases your appetite. It gives you releases a chemical that gives you a sensation of hunger, which is very beneficial to patients that are, that have cancer, HIV, AIDS, or any type of debilitating disease that stymies their appetite. And so medical marijuana is used to help them eat so they can be nutritious, right? And so on that end, that's what medical marijuana has been used for many, many years. Well, of course, recreationally, marijuana is outlawed. It's prohibited. You can't do it. Even though it has the same effect it would have if you was using it recreationally, medicinally, it's not allowed recreationally. Now, today, in over 30 states, it's legal in either medicinally or recreationally. Okay? And so what that means is there are a lot of companies out here that are producing marijuana to accommodate all the companies, all the patients, and those that have prescriptions for medicinal marijuana to accommodate these patients. But the problem with that is these companies that are accommodating these patients and facilities having to spend their own capital to do it. Unlike other businesses, in a capitalistic state or nation, you normally could go to the government to get a grant, or you normally to go to a bank to get finance for a loan to cover operating costs and other expenses you may have, and then, build your company, through what they call good debt. Well, since marijuana is still on the Schedule 1 list, companies as well as banks are not allowed to offer, well, actually banks are not allowed to offer lines of credit to marijuana companies, okay, because it's federally, still not legal. Which, like I say, it's pretty oxymoronic when you have a plant that actually helps sick people, and they have to get a prescription in order to use it in most states. Now, like I say, in some of the western states, California, Colorado, now it's actually legal recreationally, so you can actually buy it, and smoke it recreationally, like cigarettes, which, unlike alcohol, you can actually use it. But the companies that are providing it are not allowed to expand and grow because, like I say, the drug is still a Schedule 1 and the federal government has not made it legal. And so if you know anything about how the Constitution and the amendments work, there's something called states' rights. And with states' rights, each state have the right to make something legal or not. So actually each state is its own country, with the federal government having final say-so. Okay? That's called federalism. And that's the 10th Amendment, states' rights. And so when you see a state like California, Colorado, you can go there and smoke weed, but then you come to Texas or go to another state and it's illegal. You have to ask yourself why. Well, states' rights, the 10th Amendment, as well as federalism. All right? Now, there are a lot of states right now that are legalizing it, but it's still a problem. And as an investor, it's always smart to be vigilant and be smart and understand this. It'll be quite premature to go out and just invest in a lot of marijuana or cannabis companies right now, simply for the fact that all these companies do not have the capital to sustain long periods of time or even to make revenue or make profit, because a lot of the money that they have has to go back into the company. All the revenue and profit they make and have to go back into operating costs. All right? And if they do have cash, it's just cash, it's not finance. And so until the federal government allows banks to finance these companies and allow these banks to actually take advantage of these companies, because now these companies have an opportunity to put all that cash they make in a bank, as well as get lines of credit to even double, triple, or quadruple operating revenue for operating costs, which will expand the company, which will in turn build the stock price where you can get money. You remember, buy low, sell high. And so understanding this, family, hemp, which is the second type of cannabis plant, is something that's been used in the United States for centuries. And it has not only medicinal properties, but also have constructional and logistical properties, because you can use it to make rope, clothes, all type of stuff. Hemp. And hemp was legal. Actually, Trump signed the Farm Bill, which made hemp legal December 2018, last year. And so that's going to be a great opportunity. But actually still now, banks are not actually able to finance these companies. But when they are, these companies will grow. So I'm more bullish, which means I would be more apt to buy hemp stock than I would to be able to buy marijuana stocks right now, because of the financial situation. All right. So, family, I just want to come back with a quick little video, and make sure if you haven't like, share, subscribe, make sure you do that. Put the notification button so you know when I'm dropping another video. If you type in Being Willie, family, you may come across some craziness. So, make sure you give me a little, stay in the garden and check me out. Push the subscribe button. And in the meantime, between time, may the Most High Inside bring you joy. And I hope this video resonated with you. And Being Willie's out.